In this presentation, we will share 7 things about the Jehovah's Witnesses Memorial to help you better understand what the event is all about.
Number 1. It's the Super Bowl of all their events, packed with millions, painfully boring and completely confusing.
For Jehovah's Witnesses, the memorial is truly their Super Bowl. It's the biggest event of the year, no competition. But even with all the attempt to build excitement and anticipation during the week leading up to the memorial, the mood inside, it stays heavy. See, the music is slow, it's somber. As one person said, it's almost like a funeral as opposed to a celebration. People will sit in their seats real stiff watching. And what are they watching for? They're watching to see who actually partakes of the bread and wine. They're also watching to see who shows up, even those who've been gone for years. They're even watching to see who stays home. And before you can even make it to the car, the gossip has already started about who attended the memorial and who didn't.
Number 2. They make the invitation public, but the rules stay private.
See, here's the part they never explain to outsiders. They use every method they can to fill those seats, using invitations, letters, text messages, door-to-door canvassing, and cart witnessing. But they never explain the real setup to outsiders. You're invited to observe the event, but you're not expected to participate. The bread and wine will pass right in front of you, but you're expected to pass it along untouched. In some congregations, there was a time when attendants would physically try to stop guests from partaking. Today, they're instructed to simply watch in silence, assuming you don't know any better. But if a known Jehovah's Witness partakes, they'll accuse you of being mentally unstable. And that's something you'll never see printed on the invitation.
Number 3. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that only 144,000 people will go to heaven. For over a century, they've claimed that God chooses people only from their denomination.
The bread and wine are reserved for what they call the anointed class. According to their doctrine, that means only 144,000 people since 33 CE have been called to go to heaven. But now here's the thing. That number is just limited to Jehovah's Witnesses. When that person accepted the invitation from that Jehovah's Witness, they had no idea that they believe that only the Jehovah's Witness denomination is supplying people to heaven. You see, the governing body is quick to admit we're not inspired and we're not infallible. Yet they're the ones who built this 2-class system. There is no outside application process. There's no independent confirmation. Only those inside the Jehovah's Witness organization are considered part of the anointed. Everyone else is expected to stay quiet. Heaven, according to their rules, stays locked behind their gates. And you know what? They're the only ones holding the keys.
Number 4. They count the partakers, watching the numbers like a countdown to Armageddon.
For many years, the partaker count wasn't just a statistic for the organization. It was their scoreboard for the end of the world, what they call the end of the system of things. They taught that as time went on, the number of partakers would keep shrinking. And the smaller that number got, the closer they believed they were to Armageddon. But instead of shrinking, the numbers kept rising. And deep down, they knew their timeline didn't add up. Year after year, the memorial count quietly exposed the cracks in their teachings. And when the numbers kept climbing, they quietly discarded the whole teaching, hoping no one would notice.
Number 5. They create peer pressure to attend, even though they never say it directly.
They claim that the memorial is voluntary. But if you miss it, people notice immediately. The elders are going to start calling, and your friends are going to begin to whisper and speculate. If you miss 2 years back to back, perhaps, someone is going to have you put on their list of being marked.
Number 6. They call it a memorial, but it works like recruitment in disguise.
Here's where it gets interesting. Your seat in the audience is more valuable than you think. The memorial plays double duty for the organization. It's not just an insider event. It's also a recruitment strategy. And they send out invitations far and wide, hoping to spark curiosity and draw in potential converts. For visitors, the experience feels awkward. You sit there watching the bread and wine pass untouched, and you can't help but feel out of place. But make no mistake, there's a reason why they want you there. Every person in attendance is like an impression, a potential conversion in the making. It works just like the social media algorithm. The more faces in the room, the more opportunities to follow up later. And year after year, they track those numbers, watching to see who they can eventually pull in. At the end of the night, they're not counting bread and wine, they're counting you.
And number 7, Jehovah's Witnesses have a two-class system. At one time, they even referred to some as secondary Christians.
The memorial puts their two-class system right on display for everybody to see. The anointed, they are presented as destined for heaven, while everyone else is expected to remain on earth. During the event, that separation is impossible to miss. The emblems pass right by you, and you feel it. There is no need for words because the system silently tells you exactly where you stand. And it works perfectly to keep people in line, or as some would say, to stay in your lane.
The memorial isn't just a religious celebration. It's a system of control. Silent rules, quiet pressure, and unspoken expectations all work together to keep numbers in check. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Drop your experiences in the comments. We want to hear your stories. If this is your first time learning about the inside workings of the memorial, now you know what's really happening. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
This program was sponsored by Critical Thinkers.